Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Modern Malayali. This is the podcast where we talk about what it really means to grow up Malayali outside of Kerala. The culture we carry, the communities we build, and the traditions that we create wherever we are in the world. Today's episode is about something that has become a huge talking point among Malayalis living in Europe. Kilukam. So if you've ever seen photos or videos online, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone's all dressed up, there's huge big stage performances, there's music, there's dancing, and hundreds of Malayalis coming together for one big formal night. Some people call it Europe's biggest Malayali formal event, and for a lot of people, it's like a yearly highlight. But if you're outside the UK or if you're new to the community, you might also be wondering, just like I am, how does it work? Who organizes it? And how did it grow into something so big? So today we're breaking it all down. Today I'm joined by Megha.
Hello.
And she has experienced Kilukam firsthand and can tell us what it's really like behind the scenes. So let's get into it. So Megha, for anyone who has never heard of Kilukam before, what exactly is it?
So like you said, it is Europe's largest annual Malayali formal, and it was created in 2016. So essentially it's basically like a dinner and dance for Malayalis, and it's based in Birmingham. And I would say that it's like typically for university and post-grad students, just really like to come together and have a bit of a celebration, really.
Oh, nice. And do you know a bit about the background? Like, who started Kilukam? How did they even get that idea to do this?
Yeah, so actually last year, one of the original members reached out to me. So shout out to Nimisha, because she told me all the lore, basically. But it was two university societies, so Birmingham Malayali Society, and then it was Hertfordshire Malayali Society. And she was telling me that in 2016, it was literally just her and a couple of her friends in her accommodation with a notepad and pen, and they were literally just planning an event, trying to get all Malayalis to come together, despite caste and religion, just to have a celebration. And then it was originally just a small event kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure that the Birmingham Malayali Society was created after the idea of Kilukam, just as a way to have a proper university society to conduct the event for them, kind of thing. But yeah, all humble beginnings, really.
Wow. But it's crazy how much it has grown, because from the videos I've seen, it seems like a very well organized and huge event. So it seems crazy that students are running it. But who all is helping with it? Are there people who are working as well that help arrange things, or?
Yeah, so the team that reached out to me, his name is Abs, and honestly, the amount of hard work that they put in, hours of late nights, the preparation is crazy. That's the team I worked with, so I can't speak for the previous years, but 2024 onwards has been under Abs, and he works alongside sponsors. So I believe it's Event UK. I think they're the main. So the decoration of the venue, they're the main. And then I think they have two other sponsors as well that work with them. And then the Birmingham Malayali Society, they will help with the smaller, more manageable things students can do. So helping put out name cards on the table and help with decorations. But the venue and everything that is actually a bigger team.
Wow. It's really impressive, hey?
Yeah,
It's
honestly.
crazy.
When I was before I was a part of it, I just didn't know just how much is going into this. But once I got more of an insider knowledge, I'm truly so impressed about how much hard work it takes to run such an event.
Yeah. What was your role in organizing the event this year?
So I was hosting. So typically, if you want to host, there's an application form that comes out. And hosting was never something I planned to do. So originally when I went last year, I did not enjoy the event, and I made it very clear. So there was a lot of backlash. And then after that, once everything died down a bit, in December, I was asked to host as it's a bit of a plot twist, a girl that was hating is now hosting, a bit of a storyline aspect to it. My role in it, to be honest, I didn't realize just how much work it would be. I was aware I'd have to speak in front of so many people, but I was under the impression that they were going to give me a script, but it was not like that. It was me and my co-host Aaron, many days of calls, FaceTime calls, and writing out a script ourselves. So we were given a basic itinerary And then from that, we had to write our own script, like everything that we wanted to say, a rough idea. And we just basically not memorize, because like obviously a hosting needs to come a bit more natural, but we had to know our cues. We had to know the time the event was happening, like when each section was happening, like the games, performances, like the breakdown of it. And essentially just introducing people coming on, introducing dances. Like compared to like the actual team, it's not the biggest role, but we are the ones that people are seeing.
Exactly, yeah. So it's still quite an important role.
Yeah.
So how did you think you did this year? Like, how did you feel after you had hosted? Was it really like nerve-wracking for you, or do you think you guys did a good job?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was so nervous because everyone always says, like, just because I do social media, they think that I'm this very confident person. But I always say speaking to a camera and my phone is a lot different to speaking to people like in real life. So I was really nervous. Like, I would say it was 2 weeks before where it really started like sinking in, like, oh, I'm gonna be talking in front of 1,300 people. It's a lot of people.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then the night before, so I was at a hotel. So me and my sister got a hotel the night before because I had rehearsals all day the day before. Once I got home from my last rehearsal to the hotel, I literally broke down in tears. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm so scared.
No.
Because it's just like so much pressure. Like you want to make the event so good for so many people, but like in my head, I'm like, I'm just one person. Like there's so much that could go wrong. I just felt so much pressure, but not from any one of them. Like they weren't putting pressure on me. Generally, it was me. Like I'm such a perfectionist, so very nervous. I could barely eat the morning, and I was like, I was pacing around the venue. Like there was a cameraman, and he was like, how are you feeling, like just before we went on? And I was like, yeah, I'm feeling good, like faking it till I make it kind of thing. And he was like, do not lie to me right now. I've been watching you pace around this venue for the last couple of hours. Okay, that's when I was like, I need to like really like lock in now. But once I went up on the stage, I just felt so good. Like it's just the initial lead up. Once I got on stage and I did my first introduction section and I got off, I was like I felt like I could breathe again. I was like, you know what, that wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, I'm sure you did amazing. Do you think you'd do it again next year if you got asked to?
Maybe not Kilukam again, but maybe if the right hosting opportunity comes, I'd be willing. But
okay. What was your first time like when you attended Kilukam?
So I went in my second year. In my first year, I did want to go, but it was very expensive. And that was mainly my biggest criticism when I went in second year. It was a lot of money because the tickets, I would say, range from like 45 to 55 pounds. And I was excited to go, but like I just kept my expectations low because I'm not really a dinner and a dance kind of person. Like I can appreciate it, but I'm a bit fidgety. So like telling me to sit in one place for like 9 hours is a bit of a hard task.
9 hours?
Yeah, it's like a whole day. What? So registration is between 12 and 3. So if you got a registration at 3, then obviously you're not there from 12. So it really just depends. So the 12 to 3 time is more like a mingling with other people if you're there for that long. And at that time is where they give out starters. So there's like areas like, and there's the entrance area first with welcome drinks, like platters, and then you go inside the venue and there's more food. And then around 4:30 we get served like our main course. So they're always feeding us. That was one thing I did like. The food was really good. But yeah, in second year when I first went, I wasn't really happy because I thought that there was a lot of lag, like a lot of just standing around to me, that I felt like we weren't really doing anything. And we were trying to take photos and the queues were just so long, which understandable, everyone is trying to get photos, but it's like an hour plus you're waiting in line. And then once I got to the front of the line, the previous committee members literally cut in and then they told us it's time to sit down. So I was like a bit annoyed because I was like, I've been standing here for an hour and now you're telling me I have to go back and sit down. I did like the food though. Performances were good, but I complained because like imagine 1,000 people running to try and watch a dance at the front of like the whole. There was like other areas where you could go to watch on a screen.
If you're going all the way to Kilukam and especially paying that much money, you want to be, watching live performances, not watching it on a screen.
Yeah, exactly. That was like why I was upset. I was like, did I pay this much money to watch it on a screen? And then on top of that, the screen kept cutting out. So I was like a bit annoyed. I was like, okay, I haven't got my photos. I couldn't see the dances. And those are the two like main aspects of Kilukam. I think last year they ran out of time a little bit, so games and stuff didn't really happen the way they planned. I just felt I personally did enjoy it, but I feel like when you have such an event at such a big scale, you can't please everyone. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then you made a video about it. Do you want to talk about your TikTok video?
Yeah, so I was just very angry, but I took, because I want to say I spent like about £200 in total for the whole thing, and as a student, that's a lot of money because
Exactly. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, and so I was really upset, but I didn't want to go on there and just be horrible and just, sit there and rip on the event and say it was horrible. I wanted to say it in like a bit more of a nicer way. So I took some time, like I was back home for Easter, so I had a bit of time to plan. So I was writing out all the points I wanted to make. And then I don't even know where it came from, but the word killer scam came to mind. And ever since, like, it has been killer scam everywhere I go. Like, people are like, you're that killer scam girl, you're that killer scam girl.
It's literally become the hashtag now. I saw so many videos with that hashtag.
Yeah, I did not expect it this year. Everyone is putting hashtag killer scam. I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. Because like last year I wanted to trend, but it wasn't trending last year because I made it way after Kilukam happened. But the fact that a year later people are still talking about killer scam is like so surreal to me. But yeah, I made that video, and for me, like the points that I made, I was happy for them to like dismiss me and tell me like what really happened, because once I talked to the new management, like Abs that reached out to me this year to host, he told me like he like debunked a lot of the things I said, but he did it in a respectful way. My issue was that last year there was like a bunch of like fake accounts saying stuff, and again I can't prove it was the committee, but allegedly I do believe it was them, because they knew things that only people that knew I would have like auditioned to sing and stuff would have known. Like only they knew that I auditioned, so they were saying like, oh, like, because I auditioned to sing basically, and they were like, oh, your singing was awful, your audition was awful, and I was like thinking like, how would they know I auditioned unless it was a member of committee that saw my audition tape? But again, I can't prove it, so allegedly no one sue me. But yeah, I made that video. I didn't know if it was going to get a positive or negative reaction, but I honestly think the way that the society that year handled my feedback is what made it into such a spectacle, because they could have ignored me, but they didn't. It was very messy in terms of the way they responded, like making fun of me, making fun of my outfit, like so much unnecessary things. And then me being me, I made a response and I called them out, and I feel like that's why it became so big, because like usually people don't speak up against such a big like established like event, because that's kind of scary thing to do. Like when I did it, I was quite scared that it was gonna go badly, but luckily a lot of people were with me, so I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, this goes to show that if you do speak up, so much good can come from it, because like you said, they improved on so many things, and it's like you said, probably because you spoke up about it.
Genuinely, I think this is like a sign to, if you believe in something, say it, because a lot of people around me told me not to make that video, and I'm glad I ignored them, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been up on the stage hosting. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow. Okay, so overall, what do you think the main purpose of Kilukam is?
I definitely say it's probably like to bring Malayalis like from all over the UK together, because because we're all abroad, like we're no longer in Kerala. I feel like we all have this sense of like we want to replicate what we could have had. So it's like our way of bringing our culture in England, and like a chance to like reunite with friends. Because for me, when I go to Kilukam, I bumped into so many like childhood friends that I haven't seen for years. So generally it's just an opportunity to like rekindle, see people you haven't seen in a long time, and just a nice celebration, to be honest.
Yeah, have that sense of community and, be with people who are just like you.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does one get invited to Kilukam? This is what I really want to know.
So actually it's not invite based like at all. It's genuinely
really?
like, yeah, it's just like anyone can come. It's just like any event, like how you get tickets for a concert, like the same principle. Like one day they'll be like, first release is out, and it's like a first come first serve basis. The only thing is,
so is there like a maximum amount of people they can handle?
Yeah, so I think this year was the biggest. So this year is 1,300. I believe last year was 1,100. So the capacity, like as a event is getting bigger every year, the capacity is increasing.
Yeah.
I think around the 1,000 mark.
Oh wow.
The issue is like the tickets sell out so quickly, as in that link will come out and you click on it, and by the time you refresh, it's already sold out, like in 1 second. So you gotta be on it because everyone wants to go, especially like first years. Like they're the ones that are very much on that link, like a good half an hour before, sat there trying to get back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is there an age limit for this event?
Yeah, I believe it is. You have to be like in university, 18, or university or apprenticeship equivalent, I believe. And then I think the maximum is like, I don't know official numbers, but it's like, I would say no one over the age of 25 goes. It's more like for university and postgrad students.
Automatically eliminates me.
I mean, I don't know if they actually check like properly, but I just think you don't want to be around first year students when you're like 25. So it's more like when you're in that university space, you want to go.
And then what is the vibe in terms of like, drinking and that kind of stuff? Is that allowed inside the event, or because I'm sure it also has to do with the venue restrictions as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're Malu, so of course there's going to be alcohol around. There's actually a bar inside. That bar opens up like at the start and then towards the end. It's not open the whole way because I feel like that can go wrong very quickly if it's like unlimited alcohol. But definitely, because we're like students as well, everyone is like ready to drink, party, and have a bit of fun.
Yeah. But then do people overdo it? Like people get drunk or they...
Yeah, I've heard people like they pre for this, so they'll be drinking at like, let's say your entry is 12, like your registration. Some people have been drinking from like 10 in the morning. Like that's not unheard of.
Oh wow.
And I definitely say the boys always take it too far. Like there'll always be one or two just doing the most, but there is security and they warn you, like if you do act a bit too much, you'll get kicked out. It's quite strict.
So no rowdy behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
And after party wise, I also heard some stuff about the after party, but I wasn't exactly sure what was all the drama there. Do you want to tell us about what happened there?
Yeah, so typically after the main event, we have an after, so that's called Kilukam. So that's like brown and white fusion music, like a lot of Desi music, a lot of Malu music. So it's like a good chance to like, party after the main event. And I think the bigger the venue get, like the bigger the event gets, the bigger the club night gets. But that can get risky very quickly because a lot of people in one like area all drinking. Obviously, there is room for things to go wrong. Like usually, I'm pretty sure nothing has ever gone wrong. Like every year, there's always probably some drama. There always is, especially when there's like young Malayalis drinking all together. But this year, like it's so unfortunate because the main event was so good. This year I heard there was pre-planned fighting from boys.
What?
So I know, it's crazy. Like I think they were first years, which makes a bit more sense because I don't know who is doing this like at grown ages doing all this, but there was like intercity like tension apparently. So like just for an example, like one city was having a fight with another city, like the Malu boys, and they decided to bring this all at Kilukam because they knew everyone would be there. It was chaos basically, and I'd say around 2 a.m. is when it got like out of hand. Like it was getting to a safety risk. So in no way was this like Birmingham society's fault or Kilukam's fault. Genuinely, it was just a few boys and unnecessary drama that ruined the rest of the night for everyone else because it was such a safety risk because people were fighting in the club. Like I witnessed that happening and I was like, oh, like this is not safe. And so they told us like, you have to like get out of this club, like obviously in a nice way, like evacuate, basically everyone come out because it was getting too unsafe. Once that fight and stuff was happening, I left because I was already so tired. So my friends stayed to like 3:30, 4 a.m. and the fights were still going on. It was just back to back fighting.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I feel bad for the event because it's like it was such a good event and it was followed by something that was meant to be a celebration and it just went sour because a bunch of boys couldn't.
They just wanted to be childish and silly.
Exactly. So
was this why there was an ambulance there?
Yeah, ambulance and stuff were coming because I think during the fights, like boys aren't looking where they're doing all this and people inevitably get trampled on.
Oh no.
Yeah, because there's so much, like there's like 1,000 people. Then
Oh
if people are
goodness.
fighting and pushing, and like if you're quite
Yeah.
small, like us brown girls, we're short.
Yeah.
Like one push is
Yeah.
enough. We're on the floor.
Yeah. I hope no one got too seriously injured or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a few things, but I'm not really sure how much of it's true. But hopefully, like
Mm.
everyone's all right. And I think that's why people were upset, because they just felt that their afters was ruined. But again, I would say that is literally those few boys and their unnecessary drama, their fault.
Yeah. But like, okay, so if you buy a ticket for Kilukam, does this include the after party entrance fee as well? Or do you have to pay that separately?
No, it is separate. So I feel like that's why people were upset, because they're like, because these tickets, what people do, there's a lot of reselling culture. So like some people will buy all the tickets when they can, and they resell it for like a very high price, which is, it's literally like a concert kind of vibe. Like people are just reselling tickets for
Oh
extortionate
my
fees.
God.
So like, let's say I could have bought an afters ticket for like £15. It could be going for 30, 35 on the actual day.
Oh wow.
So
That's crazy.
I couldn't imagine people that paid that money and they were only in the club for like 2 hours. I feel bad. So
Yeah,
fair
that's
enough.
really not right though.
Yeah.
So how much of the night is about like socializing and meeting people? Because if you're like sitting down the whole time and you, like you said, it's a dinner and dance kind of thing. So do you have to sit down the whole night and like just be watching the performances, or do you get to walk around and talk to people and mingle?
Yeah, so I'd definitely say a big part of it is socializing. So like I said, the registration period between 12 and 3, like you can
Mm.
walk about, do anything you want, really talk to people, take photos. And then when you're eating food, that's the main part where they tell you to sit down. And I think this year they switched up a little bit, because when I was hosting, I didn't even know this was happening. So on the day, as I went up on the stage to do my like introduction, everyone was just crowded around the stage. Like I didn't know that was happening. So I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on? But I think it
Yeah.
was to make it a bit more interactive this year. So people were allowed to move up
Mm.
and watch like from a closer view than just sat down, because it felt a bit more like there was a distance. So this year, I'd
Yeah.
definitely say it was way more like interactive. You can walk about a lot more freely than I experienced anyway last year. But
Mm.
towards the end, there's like games and stuff. So that's another chance for people to come up, be on the stage, play some games, have some fun. So yeah, a lot of it, you're
Mm.
mingling, talking to people.
Hmm. What kind of games are there, and are they competitions as well?
Yeah, so this year it was Modern Malayali, so like a Kerala classic. I feel like that was quite nice to get people involved. Everyone's interested in that. So this year it was boys versus girls, so that was like interesting as well. And I think it's more like the prize for the games is more just you get bragging rights. You can be like, I won. And it was blindfolded musical chairs, which is very quite funny to
Mm.
watch, because people were walking all over the place blindfolded. It was really funny. So yeah, there's games. And competition wise, they have the Kilukam Cup. So that's like the performances like dance wise. So a couple of universities will have dances, and then there'll be a competition and it gets judged, and then they give you like a trophy if you win.
You guys have a whole trophy?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the
So
trophy
who
broke because they were too excited about the celebration.
but who sits and judges the performances?
I don't know their names, but I believe they're like actual people that are involved in the dance world. Like they know what they're marking, kind of thing. Like they're looking at the technique
Oh,
aspect. So it's like a genuine
wow.
competition. It's not just, oh, they put on a good show like visually, but it was like they're looking at your technique, the storytelling.
And then how are these performances usually set up? Is it like universities, or do you set it up with your friend group? How does that work?
So similarly to hosting, if you want to host, then you apply like this. They send out a form. It's the same for any performances. So if you want to sing, if you want to dance, it's very similar, all like through the form. But with the dancing, the only difference is, I think your university's Malayali society will tell you if they even want to be involved in some way, because some universities might have too small of a Malayali society to enter like a dance competition, like, and so they might not have enough students. So I believe probably a few, like I want to say maybe 10 plus probably do audition, and then they get their university, they organize that internally, so they do their own auditions, get people, and then they apply, and then the Birmingham Malayali Society will review the auditions, and then I don't believe there's a limit, but I think it is, this year it was 6 universities, so they choose the best, and then they decide that they want them to go head to head, basically.
This is like a really like very professional kind of setup. I thought it was just, you just come and perform. That's it.
I think it started that way. Like, I think 2024, it was just you have a bit of fun, you have a dance. But the bigger this event got, the more it became so like professional.
Yeah. And I saw everybody's like outfits, their costumes were so, so good.
Yeah, I've been seeing the TikToks. I just know that's going to be so fun, like dancing, like having a dance team. Like, I know that's just such a special experience for those people.
Yeah. What did you do? Did you sing this year or you just wanted to focus on the hosting?
Yeah, so last year audition, and I didn't get it. So I said to Abs, like, oh, like, you're going to let me sing this year? And he was like, go for it, be my guest. And I was like, you know what? I can't do both. I will actually cry if I had that much pressure. Like, that and hosting and singing, like, no, it was too much. So I just stuck to the hosting this year.
I see. Maybe next year.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, now this part I'm really, really excited to talk about, and it's about the fashion, because that's what I've been noticing the most from all of these videos and photos. So what do you think was like the overall trend when it came to the ladies' fashion and the men's fashion this year?
I feel like ladies, it was definitely saris. Like, I think before
Yeah.
university, typically people don't wear saris as often because it's like more of a mature, like you're becoming more mature kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of saris. There were quite a few lehengas too, but I'd say a lot of like really nice saris.
This hashtag has been coming up on my For You page for so long now.
Yeah.
I ended up seeing a lot of videos and so many of the ladies were wearing saris. And I was just like shocked by that because I thought lehengas would be what university students would want to wear and stuff. But I was really surprised to see that almost everyone was wearing saris.
Yeah, I'm more of a lehenga person, but I feel like a lot of people do enjoy the really dressing up aspect because we don't have a lot of these like opportunities. So
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
thinking like go big or go home kind of vibe. Like everyone is bringing out their best outfits.
Yeah. Wow. Do you also have like competitions for like the best dressed or that kind of thing?
Yeah, there was a best dress. So I think the committee members of Birmingham Malayali Society, the whole time they are like looking around to see if they spot like anyone that they really like their outfit. And then towards the end of the night, we bring up like the contenders, and it's like whoever gets the most noise made for them is the winner. So we'll say.
Yeah, who gets the most noise?
Yeah.
Nice. And then in terms of the male fashion?
I mean, I don't know if I know anything about the male fashion, but a lot of it is just like formal suits. Like, I don't really know what else you could do, to be honest.
So nobody shows up with munda and kurta, and it's not that kind of vibe.
Not that kind of vibe. I think guys more tend to wear suits.
Wow, I'm just wondering, like, do you think people buy outfits just for this?
Yes, they do. There is like a period of time where people are running around like headless chickens trying to plan their outfits because I feel like we all leave it too late. And some people what they do is they get an outfit from India like well in advance.
Yeah, but it's like what you said. This is the one event where you can really go all out. And when you're not living in Kerala, it's these kind of events when you should.
Yeah, it means a lot more because we don't get them as often. So everyone is ready to like splash that money, get the nice outfit.
Yeah. So how many people do you think end up finding relationships at the event? Like, I'm sure there's a lot of flirting and all that stuff going on.
I definitely feel like at the main event, people probably do have their eyes on people, but I don't think they make any moves until like the club. That is where it probably all goes down, to be honest. You know, you got alcohol in you, you're a bit more confident, make your move.
Yeah, exactly.
But on the flip side, I've also heard apparently last year there was a lot of breakups as well at Kilukam. So it goes both ways.
Interesting. I'm sure it's after the event that's when all the stories and the gossip and all of that comes out, and you're like, oh my gosh, did that really happen?
Yeah, literally that for like a month after, like you hear so much stories like what that happened, like when the hell did that happen?
Do people mostly speak English or Malayalam at the event? And especially like you as one of the people hosting, were you mainly speaking in English?
So I'd say it's a bit like Monglish, so like a bit of both. But with the scripts, it's very personalized. So whatever you are more comfortable with, you can do. So last year's hosts, I think, did more Malayalam because they were more confident in it. Whereas me, like, I'm not as good at Malayalam. Like, I can definitely do it, but it's more like I have to think about it. So I did incorporate some Malayalam for it, like words and lines here and there. But I would say 80% of my script was in English. But in terms of like everyone speaking to each other, it's definitely a big mix of both.
Oh, nice. Okay. So there's no pressure for anyone to feel like they have to know how to speak or can understand in order to attend.
Not at all, because I've seen like people outside of Malayalis be there. Like I've seen a couple white people, black people, non-Malayali, like brown people. Anyone can get involved.
Oh, nice. So how do they, I know we already spoke about this, but how do they make sure that like only decent people come for the event, you know? Like if anyone can buy a ticket, how do they make sure that weirdos are not getting in?
Yeah, so there is like a registration process at the very beginning where they like scan your ID, student IDs, making sure you have like your name on the ticket is all matching. Like it is quite strict. And like I said, there is security. Like if anything goes wrong in any way, security will just kick you out.
Yeah, okay. It seems very, very well organized and very like well thought out. I mean, this has been, you said since 2016, so it's been like 10 years now. So I'm sure they've really grown and learned their lessons over the years.
Yeah, definitely. It has just gotten bigger and better. And the fact that I was able to be a part of the 10th year anniversary was just even more special.
Yeah, of course. That's so nice. If there's anyone that's listening who lives in another country, maybe in Europe or outside of Europe, and they wanted to start something similar for their Malayali community, what advice would you give them?
I would say definitely start small, something more like achievable, and prioritize like a genuine good time. Like don't do it for just profit, because something I didn't know was that Kilukam is entirely a charity event. All the proceeds go back to charity. I don't think you should be doing it with the reason of wanting to make a profit and like just as a cash grab, because with the Kilukam, they prioritize like an initiative. They have something called the Gabriel Initiative, and it's where they give back to families in India, and like they're really focused on girls' education this year. So I feel like if you're going to do something like this, do it with meaning, like something you want to give back to your community. You also want to prioritize the students maybe, or people that are coming to the event. And also the biggest piece of advice I'd give is be prepared to be dedicated, because it is a time-consuming commitment to make. There is hours of work that goes into it. Like from my end, when I was hosting, I would say a couple of hours, like two hours every day, I was going through my Kilukam notes for at least a month. Whereas people who are doing this event, like actually organizing, it's like a whole year process where the second the one's like this year's finished, they're probably thinking about the next year's. And it's there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't even think to like, we wouldn't even consider that that's being happening on the sides. But there's so much. But yeah, I would say definitely do it for the right reasons and be prepared to be full out, full in, like ready to just give it your all, basically.
Yeah, that's really nice advice. And I think also having a really nice, fun team, supportive team, a team who's willing to work hard, like you said, put all the effort in.
Yeah, genuinely, like I was surrounded by such a wonderful team of people. Like shout out genuinely to Abs and Aaron, like my co-host. He helped me so much because he's hosted before, so I would lean to him for advice. So genuinely, having a good team is a core part of this whole event. Like if you don't have the foundations, then you'll never go up.
Yeah. Wow. It was really nice getting all these insights from you. So thank you so much, Megha, for coming and doing this.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been so fun, honestly.
Yeah. Kilukam is such an interesting example of how Malayali communities continue to evolve outside of Kerala. It shows that culture doesn't just stay the same. It adapts, it grows, and sometimes it turns into something completely new when people bring it to different parts of the world. Events like this are not just about performances or dressing up. It's about creating spaces where young Malayalis can connect, they can celebrate it, and they can feel a sense of community. So thank you so much, Megha, for joining me today and for sharing your insights. It's been really, really nice and really fun getting to hear about Kilukam.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so fun.
To everyone who's listening, if you've attended Kilukam before, I'd love to hear your experience. And if you're ever thinking of starting something like this, well, now you've heard everything from Megha. So yeah, that's all from us. So thank you for listening and bye.
Thank you. Bye.